Hey there, I'm Christy Wilhelmi from Gardenerd. Today's topic is all about summer pruning. If your fruit trees are getting big to the point where they're touching one another, or they've gotten too tall that you need a ladder to harvest from them, now's the time to consider summer pruning. Today I'll break it all down for you and show you why and what to do. Pruning your fruit trees can be a little scary and sometimes daunting, but if you break it down into summer and winter pruning, it makes things a lot easier. Winter is when you prune a tree during its dormancy season for production for the coming year. Summer is when you do a simple pruning just to reduce size and height. When it comes to summer pruning, you don't have to be all that accurate. That's the other good thing to know. You can make chopping cuts and then deal with the more serious, specific pruning in winter. But in the summer, if you're just trying to get it out of your headspace, like here, this is my pathway, you can actually just take care of that really quickly and not worry about it. Now, there are a few things you need to know about summer pruning. First of all, if your tree is still producing fruit, like this one here, it's not time to do summer pruning. The timing is after you finished harvesting everything off of that fruit tree for the year. Then you can prune that tree. The second thing you need to know is that apricot trees and some of the other stone fruits really don't like summer pruning. If you get rain in the summer, they need to be pruned in an absolutely bone dry environment or they can catch a disease and die. But if your fruit trees are evergreen like this loquat and citrus trees, then you don't have to worry as much about the timing on summer pruning. There are a few bits of tools that you're going to need for this job. Either, if it's a low tree, if it's a tree you can reach without a ladder, just pruning shears is going to do good. If you need something a little with more extension, then these loppers are going to be right there for you. And these, I love these because they have arms you can extend. And a good pair of gloves and a step stool if you need to. And if your fruit trees have shown any sign of disease like peach leaf curl or anything, make sure to have a bottle of hydrogen peroxide or alcohol with a spray nozzle on hand so you can sanitize your pruners between cuts. Okay, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to tackle is the circumference. Once you reduce the circumference, then it's easier to access the taller branches with a ladder or a step ladder. So I've trained these trees to be pretty low, so I don't need a ladder except for the very, very top. So right now I'm just going to take these pruning shears and start going around and making a little bit more space between these two trees. Okay, what to look for? You're looking for a branch that comes back to another branch that is a little shorter than it, or comes out a little less far. So right here, what this looks like is this branch here comes back and meets this little shorter branch right here. So I can cut this back a ½ inch away from that connecting point on a 45-degree angle with clean shears. So now this will be the widest this tree will come out. I have to do this one as well. See, now it's a lot less, bulky. So this one's easy to see as well. These two branches here come out quite a ways, but there's this new growth right here. So I'm going to cut this one back to here, and then I'm going to trim these others back as well. Let's prune some more. See, there's already a lot more space for me to walk through between my trees. And that only took a couple of minutes. Once you're done with the circumference of the tree, now it's time to get a stepladder and do the top. You can reduce it in the same way, cutting back to a lower lateral that is shorter, and that's going to bring your tree's girth in all the way around and from top to bottom, and the next year you won't have to harvest with a ladder. Ding! I have more details in another video on pruning in general, and that's all going to cover the 3 Ds, dead, diseased, and disorderly, and how to make specific pruning cuts. So check that out in the Gardenerd channel. The rule of thumb around summer pruning is that you don't want to take more than 20 to 30% of a tree's branches in one season. So if, for example, you have like an avocado tree or something that gets long and leggy, or these loquat trees that everything that produces on its tips is a tip-bearing fruit tree, you may want to choose a third of the branches to prune back in that season. Mark them somehow, either with a chalk or wax marker, or tie a twine around it, and then in the next year prune another third, and in the next year prune another third. And that's how to reduce a tree over time more to the size you want it, without totally clear cutting the tree in a way that makes it not produce for a few years. So those are the basics on summer pruning. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to find out when our next video comes online. And consider becoming a Patreon subscriber to support all the free stuff we do here at Gardenerd. You'll find tons of information about growing your own fruit trees in my book, Grow Your Own Mini Fruit Garden. You'll find all kinds of tips on growing vegetables in my book, Gardening for Geeks. And check out my novel, Garden Variety. Happy gardening.